1,400 is the base case on Tesla. And if I look at demand today, just given where we could see units, 1.6, 1.7 million units is potentially out there, just given what we're seeing from a demand. And you got Berlin and Austin now ramping. So I think Tesla continues to sort of be the best way to play electric vehicle.
Shares of Tesla during today's session, as well as this week. The stock is on track for its best week in nearly 3 months.
In this video, Tesla stock has its best week of the year. The Model Y is sold out in the United States until next year. Elon Musk spits more facts that will piss people off. A new survey shows consumers trust Tesla far more than any other brand to develop safe, reliable autonomous vehicles. Plus, a brutal comparison of Tesla shortly after their IPO and Rivian shortly after their IPO. So let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can get 2 free stocks with WeBull, a free stock with Stake, free Bitcoin with Coinbase, and free Bitcoin with BlockFi, and the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. Tesla stock had a great week, up almost 16%. This is officially the best week for Tesla in 2022. But to put things in perspective, for the full year of 2022 so far, it's still been a downward trend. Tesla stock down approximately 25% since the year began. And in my opinion, it's still the bargain of the century. Let's see what the mainstream media had to say.
Shares of Tesla during today's session, as well as this week. The stock is on track for its best week in nearly 3 months.
All right, well, let's take a look at the charts here at the Wi-Fi Interactive. This is a 1-year chart of Tesla. This is at record high, just short of 1,250. By the way, I'm going to show a 2-year chart just first so I can show you that this decline right here, although it kind of overshadowed by this one here, is actually about the same. That's a 40% decline. This is a 43% decline.
Man, I hope he's not going to get into any stocks astrology, aka technical analysis, but interesting to note, 2 massive drawdowns of at least 40% on Tesla stock in the last couple of years. Never a dull moment for Tesla stock investors, and plenty of buying opportunities as well.
Here's the 1 year, and we are right up against a very, very important level here. Should call it an area because we have all this price action in here that investors have memory of, and we have to push through that. So right around 900, I think we have some decent momentum, probably going to stall a bit. If it goes up, it's going to look something like that.
No, it's going to look like this. By the way, don't forget you can pick up your own Tesla Stock to the Moon merch. There's shirts, mugs, hoodies, phone cases, and loads more. There's a link in the description.
You're still a lover of the Tesla stock, right?
I mean, look, I think Tesla here, if it wasn't for Musk, I think ultimately the way he handled the conference call and the Twitter fiasco for Musk, I think Tesla ultimately is a 4-digit stock here. And that's been overhang, but that's why we just focus on the demand, the fundamentals, and the scaling of Berlin and Austin. And I think that's why we look out in the next 3-4 months. This has really been just a huge opportunity to own Tesla, despite the circus show that's been created by Musk.
When people are calling, you said 4 or 5 to 1, they want to buy versus sell. I think that's very telling, right? That's a color, that's anecdotal, because that's what you're experiencing firsthand. And just so people are, get the very latest from you for your targets on Tesla and Apple, you have targets and then you have the bull case targets.
Yeah, and no doubt. I mean, right now it's really about the targets, right? Bull case continues to be, I think, once we get past this geopolitical environment, 1,400 is the base case on Tesla. And if I look at demand today, just given where we could see units, 1.6, 1.7 million units is potentially out there, just given what we're seeing from a demand. And you got Berlin and Austin now ramping. So I think Tesla continues to sort of be the best way to play electric vehicle.
So I've got to give credit where it's due. Dan Ives continuing to be one of the more aware, enlightened, and reasonable analysts on Wall Street who are covering Tesla stock, estimating around 1.6, maybe 1.7 million vehicles delivered for 2022. Meanwhile, the consensus opinion from the Wall Street geniuses, I think, is somewhere around 1.32, 1.33, maybe even closer to 1.4 million now. Still embarrassingly far off the mark, massively underestimating Tesla again. This is Tesla's Model Y long range, currently on sale in the United States for $62,990,000, an obscenely high price, one that's risen around 20% over the past 12 months because Tesla has such insane insane demand, they have no choice. And speaking of insane demand, the Model Y long range, the standard entry-level vehicle, no upgrades, no extras, is now sold out for the entire year. If you order a Model Y standard range, no full self-driving, no upgrades today in the United States, you won't be taking delivery until 2023. And this is after Tesla's insane price increases over the past 12 months. Take a moment to think about the insane level of demand here. Customers will be waiting the better part of a year. We're not even 3 full months into 2022 yet, and already sold out for the entire year. There is hope, however, if you have slightly deeper pockets. As Sawyer Merritt points out here, if you add full self-driving to your order for $12,000, which is basically pure profit for Tesla, your estimated delivery time will be cut down by 6 months to June 2022, which is a lot more reasonable than waiting until the beginning of next year. This is obviously going to mean there's a massive wave of higher margin sales earlier in this year as consumers go, fuck it, I'll just buy the software, I want this thing sooner, let's do it. And on top of well-off, impatient people just upgrading to full self-driving to get their vehicle sooner, there's also just going to be a huge pulling forward of all of the orders that were made with people who already wanted to buy full self-driving who are now going directly to the front of the line. And truth be told, I have no idea why the Tesla wasn't doing this in the first place. I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think it's fair and reasonable for a company who has very long wait times for products to prioritize delivery of the higher spec, more expensive products to customers first? Is that fair? And now Elon Musk defends an extremely dangerous guy who both has a brain and regularly uses it. This of course is a huge no-no and therefore he should immediately be cancelled, but Elon Musk has other ideas. Most of you will know this guy, right? Russell Brand. Well, here's a tweet from The Independent. Quote, opinion, how Russell Brand went from stand-up stardom to peddling YouTube conspiracy theories. For those of you who are unaware, there seems to be a very large brain damaged portion of the world's population today who are scared to hear ideas that don't conform to their worldview. And rather than being open to discussion, debate, inquiry, etc. No, just cancel anybody who says anything at all that doesn't conform to your worldview. Don't discuss, cancel. That's just how it works. So, back to the tweet. Now you guys and girls may have noticed the typical tactic from these piles of human excrement who would rather cancel than discuss and debate is to slander and smear. You said men and women are different? You're a misogynist. You didn't loot and vandalize in the latest protest? You're a racist. You asked a question? You're a conspiracy theorist. Another common catchphrase, of course, is labeling anybody you disagree with as a right-wing extremist. Well, Elon Musk has entered the chat, responding to this clear attempt from The Independent to smear Russell Brand as a conspiracy theorist, discredit him, somebody who can't be trusted. Why? Because he's asking questions. Elon Musk responding, with so many mainstream media companies saying Russell Brand is crazy and dangerous, I watched some of his videos. Ironically, he seems more balanced and insightful than those condemning him. The groupthink among major media companies is more troubling. There should be more dissent. Completely agree. Elon Musk didn't need to wade into this discussion, but he's gone out on a limb, he's put a target on his back by defending another person that the woke mob is trying to cancel for thinking and asking questions. What a crime. And for the record, I completely agree with Elon's comments. I've actually watched a bunch of Russell Brand's content on YouTube in the past sort of 6, maybe 9 or so months. And he's very insightful, fair, reasonable, and balanced. Now, I don't agree with every single idea and thought that he has, but I would take Russell Brand over 99.999% of the mainstream media, also known accurately as the fake news. One final point before we move on. It's going to hurt a few butts, but no fucks given because it's accurate. There's people today still who actually believe that the mainstream media is a reliable source of information. They're unaware of political biases, their own agendas, corruption, bribery, stories being pitched to news organizations by people and companies with a financial interest, which is how the majority of the news actually ends up on TV and in newspapers every day. And they believe that if the media says something about something or someone, it must be true. These are the same folks who actually trust the fact checkers to check the facts for them so they don't have to do it themselves. These people are universally known as morons. Now, onto a recent survey from Auto Pacific asking consumers which brands they trust most to develop reliable, safe, autonomous vehicles. Results are kind of stunning. Remember, we're talking about consumers, which unfortunately probably includes the people who were just talking about who are too fucking dumb to think for themselves and believe the mainstream media is a reliable source of information. And if a fact checker says there was no laptop, then there was no laptop. I don't know what I'm talking about. Point is that many of the consumers responding to this survey will have no doubt seen things about Tesla and many other companies in the media that don't accurately represent reality. For example, the 420 quadrillion articles and hit pieces about Tesla's supposedly terrible safety. the same cars that are the safest vehicles ever tested. So keep that in mind. Let's get straight to it. The money shot. What brand do you trust most to develop safe and reliable, fully autonomous vehicles? About 1/3 of respondents opting for Tesla. In my opinion, probably the 1/3 of consumers who are relatively well informed. Pretty impressive, especially for a company that doesn't pay for advertising. And what's that other thing they don't do? Oh, it starts with P, ends in R. We can see visually, Tesla is in a league of their own. There's a dramatic drop down to Toyota. Tesla at 32%, Toyota at 19%. This entire cluster of companies basically in the same kind of range, and then Tesla, league of its own. What's curious here, a lot of consumers, I think, projecting their own assumptions and beliefs. A lot of consumers rightly believe that Toyota vehicles, generally speaking, are quite reliable. I'm assuming this may have influenced the 19%, because I can tell you fucking what, I would not be trusting this company to develop safe autonomous vehicles when they still don't know that EVs are the future and are still pursuing hydrogen batteries and internal combustion engine vehicles. Seriously. Now, this is of course only a single data point, a survey of consumers, but it's still important anecdotal evidence. Remember, Tesla has never paid for advertising in the history of the company. There's been a relentless anti-Tesla campaign of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the media for the last decade. Articles about fires and crashes and this and that and the other, completely out of proportion to the reality and the data. Yet still impressively, 1/3 of consumers know what the actual fuck is going on. 1/3 of consumers get it. 1/3 of consumers recognize that Tesla is the company that should be most trusted to develop safe and reliable autonomous vehicles. This is incredibly impressive. This is without PR responding to any of the fake news, the hit pieces. This is without paying for ads to manipulate and trick people into buying your products or thinking they're safe. I'm actually stunned at these results. This is extremely bullish for Tesla. Remember, the number of Teslas on roads today is going to double, and then double, and then double, and then double again. And again, more Teslas on roads, more consumers have experience, more consumers become aware of the facts. And finally, a great tweet here from Paper Bag Investor comparing Tesla in Q2 2021 versus Rivian in Q4 2021, soon after each company IPO'd. These numbers are absurd. And remember, Rivian IPO'd at a valuation in excess of what Tesla was just a couple of years ago, after Tesla had produced and delivered many hundreds of thousands of vehicles, scaled up, had huge technological lead, blah, 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 blah. You guys know the drill. Rivian yet to do a thing. So, automotive revenues. Tesla was at 39 million. Rivian, 54 million. Hey, not so bad. Rivian, decent revenue soon after IPO. Automotive gross margin. Again, this isn't today. This is back in 2011. Tesla's automotive gross margin at 22% versus Rivian at negative 709%. Operating expenses. Tesla at a mere 77 million versus Rivian at over $2 billion of OPEX. Tesla's net loss soon after their IPO at $59 million for the quarter, and Rivian at about $2.5 billion for the quarter. I'll put a link in the description to this tweet if you guys and girls want to take the time to compare line by line. Just wanted to point out a couple of replies here from Elon Musk. Quote, "Prototypes are easy. Production is hard. Making an electric car was not the hard part of Tesla. Dozens of companies have done that. But reaching volume production with sustained positive cash flow was last achieved by an American car company, Chrysler, around 100 years ago. Ford and Tesla are the only American companies to avoid bankruptcy. Even GM and Chrysler went bankrupt in 2009. Something to think about. And I think that's a great place to wrap it up today. Don't forget to sign up to Patreon with the card in the corner or the link in the pinned comment to instantly gain access to over 100 exclusive Q&A videos on every topic you can imagine. Health, longevity, dating, relationships, psychedelics, you name it, I discuss it. And you'll also gain instant access to my Tesla price targets out over the next decade in the bear case, base case, bull case, and the hyper bull case. So I'll see you over there. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can get 2 free stocks with WeBull, a free stock with Stake, free Bitcoin with Coinbase, and free Bitcoin with BlockFi, and the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. I read every single comment on this channel and I really appreciate your feedback. So if you've got any thoughts on today's video, questions, comments, or suggestions for a new video, let me know in the comments below. Check the cards on screen now to browse the merch store, join Patreon, or watch the next video.